Hello there, Rebel Rooster Modeling viewers. It's good old Terry here. And I am wearing my surgeon's mask because I'm going to perform surgery on a model today. You thought I was wearing one of these silly ass COVID masks. I'll be damned if I do that again. Anyway, hey, let's see if this old dog can learn a new trick and do a conversion kit here. I've worked with resin before, nothing major, just cockpit sidewalls, wheels, baby stuff like that. And, 3D printing came out a while ago, of course, and, and it's one of those things that I held off on. Mainly, probably a stupid reason. It's just one of those things that makes me me, and that's my resistance to following the crowd and just jumping on what everybody else says is so awesome. And just the way it came out so fast, and everyone's like, oh, it's the best thing in the world. And I was kind of like, just live under my rock, and not embrace that kind of instant stuff. But I decided, I'm going to give this 3D printed stuff a try. I kind of, like I said, between my stupid reason of just, wanting to not be a bandwagon jumper and a crowd follower. I just didn't want to do it because of that. But also the other thing was like, oh, what's the difference? It's just like resin. But I'll tell you what, man, it's a whole different thing here. So let's take a look at this, and we'll start talking about the conversion I'm going to be doing, which is going to be a contest rendering. It's going to be a Tamiya 148 Corsair. Not this one. This is my practice one. I'm going to be doing it on a -1A, which is my favorite Corsair variant. The three-tone camouflage one. And this Magic Factory R2800. So let me get ye old clickety remote control, push pause, and we'll move right on into it. All right, you can see kind of the bench here with what's going on. Parts are all over the place. We'll get to all this a little bit later. But for now, let's first talk about this Magic Factory R2800 engine. First thing is you're going to get this little card in there, and I don't know if I got slighted and it's supposed to have the back, but it doesn't. What you get is basically a firewall forward engine. It's like where my thumb ends and the engine goes. That's basically what you're getting. Plus the cowling, the engine mounting ring, and the forward cowling ring. Now, let's talk about this thing. What do I think of it? Well, really, who cares what I think of anything, but I'm going to give you my opinion anyway. The first thing you're going to notice is that it comes, when you get it, it's mounted up in all of this garb here, and it just looks like a nightmare to take out. Now, if you've worked with resin, you're familiar with having to saw it very carefully, and it's a pain in the butt to saw. You get powder everywhere. It makes a huge mess. You get 12 different types of cancer while you're doing it. It's messy. It's kind of just, it's a drag. It's no fun. So the first thing I noticed is taking this out was very, very, very easy. It looks fragile, like you're going to do all kinds of terrible things. But what I did is I just poked my knife through here like so, and I just dragged it lightly with a little pressure, and these things broke right off really easily. And then there's another layer of it inside of there, and that's where the engine's on. I just did the same thing. I just put it across, and they came right off. So removal of the engine from its mounting and the parts in the mounting was shamefully easy. So we're already off to a good start with that. Now, so far as it goes, here's what you're getting. You're getting your cowling ring, your cowl flaps. I'm sorry, your cowl flaps, which I duly broke pretty quickly. Old ham-fisted Terry did it as usual. I got a little bit of the black CA. You've seen me using this before. This is my favorite one. And it does respond to kicker well, like regular CAs. But anyway, I put a little bit of that in there, and I got the ring back, or the cowl flaps back together, and they're good to go. You'll notice that these are remarkably similar to the Tamiya cowl flaps. It looks really pretty much identical until you turn them inside out. And this is where the Mini Art, or whoever, yeah, I think it's Mini Art, whoever makes these things, 3D printed, is in for the win. Look at the difference here in detail, see? Much better. All right, so there's the first thing. So next thing you're gonna have an engine mounting ring here. Engine fits in it like so. Oops, I got it backwards here, like so. And it mounts onto the cowl flaps like this. It's got three little titties here, 1, 2, and 3, and it's got little corresponding divots in there. You can see right there. And it just goes like that. Engine goes through, and then in the front of it, you got your cowling ring, which also looks really nice in the front from the inside. Gives you a little something to look at. But the star of the show here is this engine. So let me get pointing pencil here and show you what I'm talking about. And close your eyes, I'm gonna move the camera. All right, you're not gonna be seasick now. I'm gonna move my lights here so I can get some good look at it. And turn this on, there we go. Let's take a good look at this engine here, okay? Now, hopefully this is gonna focus. I mean, really, seriously, this is just, I'm impressed with this. Here it is. You can see right away, I mean, look at the detail on the magnetos up here. The ignition wire harness. Look at this. It's even got plugs where the ignition wires go into the engine. I mean, look at the detail on this thing. Ridiculously ridiculous. And look at the cooling fins. Got the lifters, 2 exhaust rings. Look at this, you've even got the oil drain line at the bottom of the crankcase, or the breather, whatever it's called, I can't remember. But anyway, and my favorite, hollowed out pipes. All right, so very impressive engine. The only thing I would say down about it is that, oh, by the way, look at those cooling fins are nice too. Look at that. They're not huge. These cooling fins are just right. They're not hugely overly deep or anything like that. I can get you to see it a little better. There you go. Now you can see them pretty good. But they've come a long way here. I mean, there's no witness lines on it where it was made. I mean, this thing's just really nice. The only downside to it is it's one piece, so that's kind of going to make painting difficult, but I'll get through it. I will live. But excuse me for the snort, and I'm not well today. I'm kind of sick, but anyway, really, really beautiful engine. Now, let me throw the Baby Ruth in the swimming pool now, okay? This is made for Magic Factory, not Mini Art, Magic Factory's Corsair kit. I'm not really a fan on that kit. I mean, it's nice. It's got some really cool features on it, but the two things that I cannot get over is, one, it's got that plastic, that softish plastic that just drinks paint. The same plastic that the new Airfix kits have, ICM, Mini Art, they have that. It's almost like it's got pores in it. It just, you can't do a good metal job on it because it just doesn't reflect, it doesn't shine, it just drinks the paint up. The plastic on Tamiya kits and Hasegawa especially, old Airfix, for you Peter Oxleys out there, Matchbox kits, the old stuff, and the modern Japanese plastic's much better. So that's the one thing I don't like about their Corsair. The second thing is their superfluous and very inaccurate detail they put on there. Like they got these rows of rivets. They're spaced just nowhere near what it would have been, and they're just much bigger than they should be. And they're in places that they don't even belong on the airplane. So you know, I don't want to have to go starting a kit with having to fill in things that don't belong there. You know, I don't want to have to unscrew someone's poor diagramming and research to have open gun bays and neat stuff like that. I mean, those are the two things I can't get over. I mean, it's a neat kit. I mean, it's got some really cool stuff going on, but I just can't do it. So that's where I just am a favor of this 40-plus-year-old Tamiya 48 scale kit. So this is my practice one. It's the blue one in 48. Not a lot of bench space, but you've seen this kit 1,000 times. There's probably been everybody and their pet monkey has done this thing on YouTube. Excuse me, sorry for the snorting. Like I said, I'm sick here. But anyhow, I'm going to be doing it on an F4U-1A, which is my favorite variant of the Corsair. So that's going to be the surge. I'm going to be putting this engine into the Corsair, and I'm using this one as my practice kit. And here's the current cutout on it and everything. And that's another video in itself that's forthcoming. But I did want to let you see what's coming, what I thought of this engine, especially, and why not just buy their model and do it on their airplane. So this is my first time doing this, so it's going to be a lot of fun, I hope. So let me just give you that little taste for now, and let's wrap this up. Okay, so that's my take on the engine, the 3D printed engine. So, you know, clearly my resistance to the 3D revolution is kind of futile. You know, sometimes things come out by storm and they're really that good. And I really do have to say I was wrong on that whole 3D thing. It turned out to be pretty darn good, pretty impressive. It's not something I'm going to be doing a lot of because it's hard, you know, so I don't know, man. I might get to liking it. I don't know. But I love this engine. I think it's beautiful. But for the right thing, I'll do it again. But generally, I just like to do my models out of the box. Maybe a little couple small things, you know, I do to alter them or add to them. But I just don't... I don't like performing surgery on models and stuff. I just like to build them, paint them, and make them look the best with what you get in the box. But, you know, everybody likes something different, you know. But, you know, how boring the world would be, right? The reason now you're probably wondering, it's not a cheap kit, man, to practice on. And you're right, it's not. Unless you go to the right place to find these things cheap. Garage sales, forget it. Goodwill, forget it. You're probably, you know, the word is out. The secret's out. Everybody knows these things, right? So someone's going to beat you there. But, you know, there's these little trade shows, you know, sometimes you'll see something on my cabinet, a little poster of one, model kit flea market, swap meets, those kind of things. And, you know, you'll usually find some old people that, by old, I mean, you know, they were crossing the Old West in a chuck wagon and stuff like that, you know, not quite that old, but older than me. So, they're, you know, they've been collecting models their whole lives, like a lot of us do. And we're getting close to kicking the bucket, you know. One foot's in the grave, the other's on the banana peel, and their wife is saying, you got like 900 models here. And I don't want to deal with this when you're gone. So let's sell, you know, a goodly portion of these. And, you know, any reasonable man will be like, yeah, you're right, okay. And they'll get rid of the stuff that they probably didn't really want that bad anyway, you know, but they're selling something. And Sometimes they'll have started a model, like the case. This one was the case. It said when I bought it, it had a whole thing there. It said started, and it was started. They glued a fuel tank together, so you know, big deal, right? But I did notice that it was missing a cowling after a while, which is no big deal because if you're like me, and for 30 plus years you've been saving every part from every model you ever built or parts kit that you bought. You know, sometimes you get a model that's got different variants. You'll do one and the other parts are for the other one. You don't throw them away, you keep them, right? Or, you know, you got kids and, you know, accidents happen and your model breaks and you just keep what's salvageable in your parts box. And I was lucky enough to have a cowling, a spare cowling left because like I was showing you, the, my shishni, where'd that thing go? Here it is. The cowl flaps between the Tamiya and the Magic Factory cowl flaps, they're identical pretty much, except for that inside detail, but they're identical. And you're going to notice, it's a Tamiya model, you've still got this right here to fill in. So you're going to need to cut the, there are my spectacles so I can find them. There we are. Okay. So the Tamiya cowling has that part right here. Come here, pointing pencil. This one. That fills it in, which I duly cut off. And I could put that on the mounting ring so that this will be properly filled later and I won't have to mess with it. So another reason to keep parts there. And like I said before, I probably already told you on the video, and if I'm repeating myself, I'm sorry. I'm not feeling too good tonight. My memory's kind of already out there, but didn't want to do the Magic Factory kit because I don't like the rows of rivets it had that didn't exist on the airplane, and they're way too big and deep. I hate their plastic. Oh yeah, I did tell you about that because I mentioned Peter Oxley earlier with his Matchbox kits. Good old Peter, I love that guy. He's one of my favorites, man, him and Sean King. But anyway, you know, the plastic on these Tamiya kits, the Hasegawa kits is great, you know, so I just I didn't want to buy the Magic Factory kit for those two reasons. Those are just, it's probably stupid stuff, but, you know, you build your way and there's certain things that matter to you and there's certain things that don't matter to you. And I just like to keep, I'm an accuracy guy. I like to keep things close and accurate as is within reason and my capabilities. And if I'm looking at something and it's got all these extra rivets or the paint job doesn't look very good, you know, even if no one else notices, I do and it bothers me. So that's why I'm not doing that one. But anyway, it's good to have a practice kit. Before we get started on this, I'll tell you a couple things to go looking for if you don't have them, and if you even care to, you know, to go that far into it. And that's a set of these razor saws. I think it's called Tri-Tool is where I got mine. Tri-Tool, they're made by Hasegawa. I bought these from Mike at Rhino Tools. I wish I had his web address or some contact. He's a good dude. But these are easy to find, these razor saws. You'll also need some good CA glue. I like the rubberized stuff because it gives a little bit of flex so it doesn't break as easily and it gives you more working time. Let me see, anything else particular you're going to need for this. And the reason for the CA glue also is, remember this is 3D printed plastic. And it doesn't chemically get hot with your extra thin cements like this stuff does. This is a different kind of plastic, so you're going to need a good CA glue to put that together. You can use Kicker with it. It will work just like if you use the stuff I like. It will work with Kicker just fine. So you're going to want to get some CA glue, some razor saws, and you're going to need some hot water handy, because we're going to have to separate. These pipes kind of point towards each other out of the box, and we're going to use some hot water to take these, spread them apart so that we can get them to fit inside these holes where they come out of. And You're probably going to want a set of these drill bits. You've seen these at Harbor Freight. Amazon has them. They're everywhere. You could put them in a Dremel tool or whatever. They got a standard collet that fits. Or if you don't have one of those, you don't want to sink the coins into it, they also can be twisted to be used too. They're pretty good for that. But you're going to be drilling a lot of holes, man. So unless you're an electrician, you've been twisting wire and it's nothing new to you, you're probably going to want to use a Dremel tool or something. But anyways, like I said, it's your choice. So sorry for the snorting again. I know that's annoying as hell to listen to, but I'm just kind of sick and part of the territory. That's really the only non-standard stuff you're going to need to do this. And if you can get your hands on this engine, remember, like I told you, this looks terrifying when you're looking at all the parts in here, but believe me, it is just ridiculously easy to get that stuff taken out. And I did absolutely no cleanup on this at all. And it's ready to go right away. So you're going to have a good time with this. It's not a cheap engine. This engine alone costs more than some model kits do. But if you've got the motivation to spend that on it, it's good. You're gonna have a good time with it. And I'm saying this because I've already finished by the time I put this video out, but so I can say that with confidence. But you're gonna enjoy it. We're gonna get started on this. Video's gonna be coming out. I'm gonna try to put them out about once a week because I'm working on other things at the same time. Got a P47 in the bullpen, a couple Mustangs in the bullpen, a Wildcat. Summer's finally over here in Hell's Armpit, so I can spend some good time out here and do some modeling and get you some videos out there. But hey, anyway, enough of that jib jab. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Happy modeling.